Now, isn't this special? I can't even begin to explain how amazing this figure is. The video doesn't really do it justice. I don't even know what to call it because the stickers have come off of the box. You can see the bubble is crooked. It has some instructions here about robot mode. This was distributed by Greenbrier International. And it's just some really, really wonky bootleg transformer. And so I don't even remember where I got this. Or, you know, I'm sure I paid $1 or $2. But when I saw this, I knew I had to have it because, I mean, look at that. I don't know how well you can see that here, but the bubble's like down below here, and it kind of looks like it got melted at some point. I mean, this is just a really, really so bad it's good figure. And of course, I have to open it. I mean, I just have to. This is a work of art. I almost hate to do it because this packaging, this presentation is just so bad, but I really want to see what this kind of orange, is he a lion, tiger? I don't know what he's all about. So I'm just going to call this a Greenbrier International knockoff transformer. How does that sound? Bootleg. Because there's a difference between bootlegs and knockoffs. A knockoff would be, you know, Galoob Golden Girl and the Guardian of the Gemstones is a knockoff of She-Ra, right? A bootleg is when they actually take something and make another version of it. I didn't explain that very well. So, you know, let's say if I took this R2-D2, you know, I took a mold of it and I started making my own R2-D2 figures. That is a bootleg. I am bootlegging this figure. Now, if I create a new figure that's kind of a ripoff of R2-D2, that's a knockoff. So, for instance, there's a Z-Bots figure that kind of looks like R2-D2. That's a knockoff. So, knockoff, bootleg, not interchangeable. So, semantics for you, but, you know, kind of an important distinction. He's got a zip tie, which this is probably like the sturdiest thing about this toy is the zip tie. The only thing that really has any sort of quality. I don't have any scissors with me. I didn't realize it was zip tied. Otherwise, I would have. I'm having to pinch it apart with these crafting mini pliers I got at Michael's. Which, by the way, are very handy if you're trying to repair vintage Masters of the Universe figures. You see a lot of stuff like this at, say, flea markets or dollar stores, places like that. And there's some, obviously, you know, if you're familiar with dollar stores, which I'm sure you are, there's Family Dollar, Dollar General, Dollar Tree. But sometimes some places have like, they'll have like their own kind of like knockoff, non-branded ones. And I think that's sometimes where you find stuff like this. So here, this fella is in robot mode. And I want you to just get a good look at this and the painting on it. So I assume that we have this top fella right here. So we're going to transform him from robot mode to, I guess he's an animal. So we flip this down, pull the tail back, the arms forward. We flip these down for the feet. I also want to say that every movement, every transformation that I'm doing, this feels like it's going to break. And, oh wait, I screwed up a step. Yeah, so trying to get okay. I'm trying not to break it. I mean, it's not like it's some, you know, super valuable toy, but it just, you know, would like to not break it. So there it is, kind of in a, I mean, if you look at the face, it kind of looks like a lion. I mean, I guess that's what it's supposed to be, but then it has like this sort of pointy, kind of devilish tail. So I'm not super familiar with Transformers. I don't know if this is like a bootleg of some kind of Beast Wars or Beast Machines, perhaps. So if you know, let me know. Let's get it back here in robot mode. You know, it has a surprising amount of articulation, but again, I think that's probably just because it's a bootleg of an existing Transformers mold. See, there's his face. I don't know if his chest is actually supposed to come apart. I don't think it is, but it is definitely coming apart. So I want to give you a sense of scale for this guy who, again, is, I guess, going to just remain nameless. So we got a few, let's zoom out here. So there he is next to Perceptor, the Perceptor. Here's one of the little dudes. So you get to see, you know, he's definitely on the smaller side. So again, I'm not super familiar with what he is supposed to be a bootleg of, if that was the original size or not. But, you know, you just got to kind of wonder how does some of these companies get their hands on them. And, you know, I would assume they were cashing in on all the Transformer movie franchises and things like that. Somebody'd see this at a dollar store for $1 or $2, buy it for the kid, and that was that. But I feel real sorry for the kid who got this. I mean, this is not a great toy. Very kind of weird. Probably broke fairly easily. So just, you know, kind of always amazes me that this was made by somebody. It was put into a packaging, a very poorly made packaging. It was shipped, you know, from, I would assume, I think it's China, and put on a shelf here somewhere in America, and somebody bought it, right? Like, that just kind of blows my mind. And then, you know, somebody bought it and then somehow ended up at a you know, thrift store or a flea market where I bought it. I brought it into my home. I'm opening it now for you, and you're watching this on YouTube. So kind of a weird butterfly effect, I guess. I don't know if that's the right terminology, but it's kind of a weird concept. So thanks for watching. This is weird orange and silver Transformer bootleg from Greenbrier International. There's no year, there's no name. So we'll just kind of leave it at that. And as always, open your toys, play with them, and try to have fun. I don't know how fun this guy is, but I think he's cool. And I know there's a unique subset of collectors who like to collect weird, strange bootleg things. So hopefully this is something that you can appreciate.